All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets that we have today in the NBA Summer League. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So today I do want to start with saying that today we are not getting as big of an edge today on something like DraftKings Pick 6. That was where we were getting the biggest edge yesterday, where we were getting some big prop line differences that we were able to take advantage of, to the point where none of the prop bets that we were on yesterday on Pick 6 ended up hitting. So it was a very big day on Pick 6. And I said it because yesterday it was kind of known that we weren't getting really that good of edges on PrizePicks and Underdog. Whereas today, it does seem like we are getting some decent edges across the board. All the lines, though, however, are basically about the same. When we look at prop line differences between PrizePicks and Underdog, we're really not getting any today, and that's going to be the same for Pick 6. And I want to point out that the payouts are better on PrizePicks and Underdog, typically speaking. On Pick 6, we don't exactly know what the payouts are going to be on a per-day basis. Like yesterday, I ran out a few two-slip bets that barely 2x'd on Pick 6, whereas you do that on PrizePicks and Underdog, obviously that's always paying out 6x. So that is a variable. That being said, hit a few 4-for-4s that paid out more than expected on Pick 6. So there's always that variable, but I did want to start with that. Let's go ahead and get into the game-by-game breakdown. So the first game that we have is going to be Milwaukee versus Cleveland, and let's just take a peek at the box score from yesterday. And what we'll see is that the Bucks did kind of somewhat spread out their minutes. Now, MLB did get to 30 minutes. He was playing well, ended up scoring 22 points in that game, which not overly expected. If he is someone that is going to get that many minutes, I would say it is more expected. Had 18 shot attempts then in 30 minutes as well. You know, he is their best scorer on the Summer League team. Now, A.J. Johnson did look good as well, who only played 24 minutes. In that 24 minutes, he had 15 points. Did start off hot and then kind of tailed off at the end. Andre Jackson Jr. went 0 for 5 from 3. He's actually someone that I probably wouldn't mind going back to the well with betting-wise. I know he's a letdown yesterday, but if he's going to be shooting 5 threes, I really don't think he's going to be a terrible option. But the issue with the Bucks is that they were spreading out their minutes. Their other rookie draft pick, Tyler Smith, ended up getting 20 minutes. Ryan Rollins only 18 minutes in that game. Ty Washington, who is a good scorer as well, only played 16 minutes as well. So they are spreading out the minutes, so that's going to make them more unpredictable. And the issue that we have with the Bucks is that we're only getting margin for any sort of lines today, and that's for his 18 points. And if we go ahead and look at Pick 6, that's going to be the same as well. Like, we're only getting him at 18 points as well. So not exactly like a big edge, I would say, in general, for the Bucks today. So probably going to get a bigger edge with Cleveland. So let's jump into Cleveland. So with Cleveland, we are going to see more of the same. If you guys want to figure out why a team wins or loses in the Summer League, it's probably this, whereas the Bucks and Cleveland probably trying to get more of looks at their players rather than trying to win the NBA Summer League. And so we will see that they did spread out the minutes as well. Craig Porter Jr., who is a guy that can score pretty easily, didn't have the best day shooting 3 for 10, but still managed 10 points. Bates is someone that I do like as a talent, shot the ball 17 times. I was really shocked, though, that he only had 3 rebounds and 1 assist. But again, he only played 23 minutes, so a little bit concerning there. Tyson, who is someone that the data really liked yesterday, or 2 sites ago, who ended up helping us 2 sites ago. He's someone we probably will be looking at again, but I am a little bit concerned by the 24 minutes. For what it's worth, Burns looked terrible. Probably not a good thing there for him. But let's go ahead and get into the top prop bets here. And so you guys will see one of the first bets that I have going in there today is going to be Tyson to get over his 15.5 points. And so just looking at Tyson as a whole, I don't really know if we are getting like a bad bet for him today. His points prop is set at 15 on DraftKings. For him to get over 15, it's at minus 180. And for him to get 20 points, it's at plus 145. So probably closer to around, honestly, 15.5 would probably be the correct line for him today. So maybe a slight edge there. Assist-wise, he's projected to get right around 3 assists as well. And I don't really think him getting 8 rebounds is something that we can consistently project. But I do still like his points. And so I think we can run over his points there. Again, Craig Porter Jr., I don't expect to shoot that poorly. Imani Bates, I do like the talent. But if these guys are only going to be in 24 minutes, to me, that's not really worth the risk. And again, not getting any sort of good bets there on Pick 6 as well in comparison. So let's go ahead and jump into this next game. And so the next game is going to be Brooklyn versus the Lakers. And with the Clippers, with this game, we're going to see that Brooklyn actually gave their starters a lot of heavy minutes, or just whoever played for them, they gave a lot of heavy minutes. And so the biggest thing that we need to find out is whether or not that's going to continue. But we can see Gilliard 36 minutes, Johnson 30, Jalen Wilson 31 minutes there. even Martin with 24 minutes. So they did give a lot of minutes to a lot of people. The one player that we're probably looking at the most in this game is going to be Wilson. And if he does get 30 minutes again, that's going to be huge. Shot the ball 17 times, ended up with 25 points in that game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, had himself a very good game. And so again, if we are looking at those minutes being there again, we're going to see his line of 18.5 points probably be the one that we want to attack the most today on this slate. That's probably one of the better prop bets that we were getting on the slate today. DraftKings has his line of 20 points to get over that at minus 105. So, kind of a 50-50 there. And so, yeah, it does seem like we are getting potentially a slight edge there. This is one of the better ones that we have today thus far. It is a tighter slate board-wise on all the boards, but I would say PrizePicks and Underdog-wise, a slightly better board today. And so this is one of the better prop bets that we are getting right now. And that's the only one for Brooklyn. So again, let's go ahead and jump on to the other side of this game. We got the Clippers that we're going to be touching on. So in the last game for the Clippers, they kind of gave their team heavy minutes as well. And really in terms of props that we are getting, we're really focused on Brown and Debate here. He had 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 points in 26 minutes. And then Kobe Brown did shoot the basketball 16 times, 13 points there as well. And so I don't think we're going to get really a big edge with these two prop bets, especially going against Brooklyn, or if Brooklyn's going to be running out their better players for 36 minutes. I don't know if I exactly want to be targeting really any of these two. Kobe Brown, it just doesn't seem like a big edge with these two as well. So very tight board again. We only have Wilson for over points thus far, 18.5. That's really seemingly a good prop bet. Let's go ahead and jump on again into the next game. And so looking at, we got Minnesota versus Indy, probably getting some decent edges here. I know Rob Dillingham let us down 2 days ago. And again, I was kind of mad at myself for not running out more slips where I had that exact same slip that I had with Dillingham and then ran out with Shannon as well, because I do think Shannon having a good day shooting the basketball is taking away usage from Dillingham. That's just going to naturally occur. We see that all the time in the NBA. So that is probably something I'll be doing today. But let's look at the lines that we're getting for them. So for Shannon, we're going to see that his lines, I don't think they're that high. 17.5 for his points, rebounds, and assist at 22.5. You look at it, he is minus 175 to get over 2 assists. He is at minus 135 to get 20 plus points. And then to get 25 points, he's at plus 115. And so that tells us that probably should be closer to 21. And also, he could get there just on his points here. And so I really don't mind that line that we're getting with him. And then we look at Dillingham as well. Again, he was a letdown in the last game. His assist line is plus 115 to get over 6 assists. So this tells me that the 5 that we're getting there, probably the correct line. His points is set at plus 120 to get 15 points. So again, this is probably correct, the lines that we're getting on him. Now, I do think the interesting thing is he did shoot the basketball 12 times, even shooting the basketball terribly. He had a bad day shooting. I think we can all easily say that. Still managed to get 5 assists, still got 5 rebounds. And so I don't mind his points, rebounds, and assists, and especially given the fact that he still had 26 minutes in that game. If that is something that's going to continue, and they did win, so it might, obviously, I don't think a team really cares if they lose, but if they win, probably going to try a little bit harder to win. Obviously, a younger player, we like that. And then we look at Shannon as well. Shannon had 3 rebounds, and that's it, no assist, okay? But again, likely to get 2 assists in this game. Shot the basketball 14 times, did get to the free throw line 8 times, which really benefited him. And so again, I do think that this is a spot where if you are running out Shannon for over points, you wouldn't be running out Dillingham for over his points, rebounds, and assists, but also the vice versa. If you're running out Dillingham for over his points, rebounds, and assists, you wouldn't be running out Shannon. I just don't see that correlating today. And those are the only prop bets that we are getting for those two. And so we go ahead and jump on into the Pacers. And I will say, Pacers are an interesting spot today. So the Pacers lost to the Brooklyn Nets in their opening Summer League game. It was a slightly OT game, scoring up being 97-95. So kind of a higher scoring game for Summer League purposes. We can see the box score. That meant that a lot of their players ended up getting 30 plus minutes, which again, for Summer League is a little bit surprising. That is something that we typically do not see. And so Walker is someone that I did mention that I really liked. For their slate. We just weren't getting props yet on Walker. Today we are. And so again, looking at DraftKings, they have his line to get over 20 points today at minus 120. And so there is a slight edge there just already. Now he is someone that can get some assists and some rebounds as well. I would say that the better bet is going to be the points, but if you wanted to run out points, rebounds, and assists as well, I'd be fine with that. Those are 2 decent bets that I would say we are getting on the slate. Again, not a massive day in terms of the edges that we are getting. We kind of have to pick and choose. And then we are getting Ben Shepherd props as well, but we're just not getting edges there with him. I don't want to bet on him. Now, I will say the lines that we're getting on Oscar Shibe are also kind of interesting. Well, I guess we're just getting points right now, but we got to be on the lookout if we're getting points, rebounds, and assists. He is a guy that really had a solid game on 27 minutes, 19 rebounds, and 4 assists, 17 points. Okay, maybe it was a little bit of the Angel Reese special going on there. I mean, 19 rebounds is a bunch. 8 offensive rebounds is a bunch as well. So maybe it's just missing some layups. But he went 7 for 11, so probably not. But he is someone that I don't mind points wise. I would want to see a points, rebounds, and assist line. And actually, let's just check. Are we getting that on pick 6? We are not. And then we go ahead and jump into the last game of the early slate. Kind of a fun game in terms of talent, in terms of younger players, and in terms of players that we were pretty good on hitting on the last slate. We had Houston versus Washington. So we'll start with Washington here. We saw a heavy minutes for their players, which I think is huge. So Sarr ended up getting 32 minutes, 4 for 12. Really struggled at the start of the game, but then settled in pretty well. Ended up with 4 blocks, 1 steal, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 points. A very solid day there. Then we look at Bub as well. Carrington, 31 minutes there for him, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, he had himself a fantastic game as well. I was a little bit surprised for them to run out Johnny Davis, who's a third-year player, for 27 minutes in that game. That could be something that adjusts, but I don't think we need to worry about that. We're probably not going to get that many props from him. That could mean more minutes for Keyshawn George, though. You end up with 22 minutes, had a decent game as well. But we look into the lines that we're getting for Carrington as it sits right now. I wouldn't say that these are crazy edges, but kind of decent as a whole. So if you look at his points prop, I mean, he's massively favored to get over 15 points. That's already going to be a good bet there. But DraftKings has his line for 20 points set at plus 126. So probably closer to like 19 there. But you look at his assist line, that's set at 6. And then you look at his rebounds line, that's set at about 5. I mean, he's plus 180 to get over 6 rebounds. And we just saw had himself a very good game. He is someone that did shoot the basketball a bunch, played a lot of minutes. To me, this is the best bet that we have on paper. And I like the fact that we kind of have 3 bets now where we are chasing some good minutes and some good production. And honestly, I'm just a little bit surprised by the lines that we're getting on him because that just seemed to be a pretty nice edge that we are getting. Then let's look at Alex Sarr here, where he's probably going to get right around 2.5 assists is probably what the line is at, maybe 3 assists there, about 15 points and about 8 rebounds. That's basically what DraftKings lines are telling us. So we do the math on that. You know, we could bet him over 15 points. We could do that. Rebounds, again, could do that. If you add his rebounds and points, he'd be at 23, tack on about 2.5 assists, and then he's at 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I don't mind that. Again, like I think we might be able to stack this game if it is a little bit higher scoring. I do think Carrington's the better one, but Sarr's still not bad. Not as big of an edge as we had on the previous slate, though. Let's go ahead and jump into Houston. And so we go ahead and look at Houston. Yeah, they had a decent amount of minutes spread out, but also like Reed Shepherd's going to be someone we're betting on today. Cam Whitmore is a good talent for them. He ended up getting 27 minutes. Both those two shot the basketball 17 times. And so we do like that there from them. Cam Whitmore, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 20 points there. Then you look at Reed Shepherd, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 23. And I will say, Reed Shepherd looked really good. I don't want to take anything away from him, and I do think we're probably going to be betting his overs, but it just seemed like he had himself a good game. Like I don't want to go ahead and say that's who he is as a player. It just seemed like he had a good game. So I don't want to jump to any conclusions just yet. But looking at his lines that we're getting today as well, we are getting some good lines, probably the best lines that we are getting as well. Reed Shepherd, DraftKings has his likely to get over 20 points at minus 145. So obviously a very good likelihood for him to get over that. Look at his rebounds. That's set at 4. He's minus 140 to get over 4 rebounds. And about 6 is his assist line. So just right there, I mean, that's like 30 points, rebounds, and assists. So I'm not sure I exactly agree with those lines. Again, DraftKings Sportsbook, guys, they're not giving us unders, so we can't exactly know like exactly what the likelihood of a prop bet to hit is. It's not really the true likelihood like we typically would use during the regular season or during the WNBA. But it is still the best other data point that we have to use to gauge whether or not we're getting good edges. And so, again, looking at this line with Reed Shepherd, I honestly really like the over points, rebounds, and assists. If you guys wanted to go with the rebounds, you could. Again, that line probably should be at 5. If you wanted to go the over assist, I don't know if I exactly would do that, but that one's probably correct at 5. So it's probably going to be a push. but we're getting some nice edges there. And then for Cam Whitmore, yeah, his points, rebounds, and assists is set at 30.5. I mean, that is a lot. I do like his talent, and I do think if he does get close to 30 minutes again, he will. I wouldn't talk you out of that, but that's probably not one I'm going out of my way to target today. And now we jump into these later games. We're not getting as many prop bets just yet for these games because, well, again, they are later on in the day, so it does make sense. I do like Orlando. You guys, Tristan Da Silva. It was the former UFC fighter, Tristan Da Silva. I'm pretty sure that's a former UFC. Anyways, he had himself a good game one. Now, the concern I have with him is that he did only play 23 minutes. The Magic actually really spread out their minutes, but how much of that was due to this game being a blowout? And it did somewhat feel like a decent reason as to why that did occur. So there is a little bit of guessing game. We do have to somewhat figure that out. If, obviously we won't be able to figure it out before the game. That'll be something in retrospect we'll be able to tell. But that did seem to be the case. And so let's just tack on him getting about 5 more minutes if the game stays close. Then the lines that we're getting for him today are probably a little bit too low. So if you guys want to bet on him, I wouldn't mind it. Looking at the other two players here, we got Anthony Black and Jet Howard. I would probably rather go with Anthony Black for over his points at 15.5 than Jet Howard. And a lot of that is going to be because Jet Howard did get up a lot of shot attempts. Never mind. Never mind that. I think I'd be fine with both of them for the over. I guess Anthony Black, only 9 shots. I just think it's more likely that Black gets more shot attempts today than he did in the last game. At the same time, watching that a little bit, Howard was definitely a little bit more aggressive, whereas Black was kind of letting the game come to him. And at the same time, 9 free throws. So I will be interested to see if we get lines on this, kind of what they're thinking. And really, this first game is where we're getting our first sort of edge on pick 6. Anthony Black at 25.5 is his points, rebounds, and assists. And if you look at Underdog, that's at 26. That being said, PrizePicks does have it at 25.5. And then we look at the Pels as well. Jordan Hawkins did have himself a good game. That was expected to be the case there. Hawkins, 29 minutes, 21 shot attempts, 18 points. That is expected. He is their best Summer League player, especially in terms of scoring. I do expect that to continue as well, but that's also what is expected out of him as well. So 21.5 points is obviously a lot, but he did shoot the basketball that much, so tough to say if I really want to go in on that or not. That's really it for the Pelicans. And then after that, we are only getting one other prop bet on the board today for PrizePicks, and then for Underdog, we are getting some more as well. So let's jump into a little bit of Atlanta and then a little bit of Denver, and then I'll give you guys the bets of the day. And so the one player I think we're going to be mostly interested in betting on would be Zachary Risacher. I kind of butchered that last name, French name there for you. But he played 29 minutes there, 16 or 16 shot attempts, 18 points there. Didn't have as many rebounds as I would expect. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. The only other bet that we're getting right now for them on Underdog is going to be Windler, 29 minutes, also a lot of shot attempts, 12 points. And so I'm not really too concerned about the matchup there with him. I guess I wouldn't mind the over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists, assuming that he gets a little bit more rebounds in this game. Would probably feel like we're forcing it a little bit. So with that, let's actually just go ahead and jump into the Denver game. We are getting 3 prop bets right now. One for Pickett, one for Strawthard, and then another one for Holmes. Now, Strawthard had a game that we would all expect from him. 19 shot attempts, a lot of free throws, maybe a little bit too much there for what I'm comfortable with, but ended up with 25 points, 5 rebounds only, though, 1 assist only. That's a little bit shocking, but 33 minutes, love that there for him. Tyson ended up playing 30 minutes, 10 shot attempts, 15 points. And then Holmes as well, only 26 minutes there for him. 7 rebounds, though, 1 assist, 11 points. And then Pickett as well. Pickett ended up with 30 minutes, 10 shot attempts, only 5 points. Okay, so he's someone that clearly had a poor night shooting, but still managed to get 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So I actually think he could be someone we're looking at sneaky as well. But we look at the lines that we're getting for them right now. This is going to be the same for Underdog. Again, probably correct. Probably don't need to bet on really much here. I would say Strawthard over points would be the one I'm most comfortable with. It if he's going to get 33 minutes and shoot the ball 15 plus times, yeah, I do like the idea of betting the over there. But the fact that they're playing that much, maybe there is something there. 30 plus minutes is tough to pass up on. Maybe just more of a stacking opportunity there. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the bet of the day for today. All right, so looking at it, guys, running out a 7 slip bet, but you guys don't have to do that. If you really just wanted to, you could run out a 3 slip bet, and I would say Terrence Shannon for over his points, rebounds, and assists of 22.5 is a solid one, and then Bub Carrington for over his points, rebounds, and assists is a solid one, and then another one, Reed Shepard for over his points, rebounds, and assists. I do want to call out that Shannon, he just got his points prop bumped to 18 on Underdog. So that tells us that the line that we're getting on Prize Picks at 17 is still a pretty good edge. So let's kind of skew it for that as well. And so this is what I'd be looking at to run out then on Prize Picks, just adding in Shannon for his points over instead of his points, rebounds, and assists. Do want to remind you guys that I still do like Rob Dillingham for over his points, rebounds, and assists as well, but I would not include Shannon in that slip if we were going to go that route. So that's going to be all for this video. Obviously a deeper dive video, more fun stuff to touch on today, but thank you guys for watching. Good luck today. And as always, let's keep cashing. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel as well, guys. Appreciate it. All right, thanks for watching. And as always, let's keep cashing.